This is episode 149, Disruption in the Direct Selling Space. Welcome to Alive by Design. My name is Blake Mallon, and we're here to bring you inspiring people, principles, and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. Open your mind and let's dive in. Hey guys, before you listen to the podcast, I just want to drop in and say I appreciate you for being here, and I'm super excited about this new Walk With Me series. These are solo episodes where I take some time in the middle of my morning run through the Santa Monica Mountains to share some inspired ideas and thoughts on my mind and heart. If you want to join me for any of these conversations live, you can catch me many mornings on my Facebook page, facebook.com/blakemallon.page. Would love to see you there. Love you guys. Enjoy the episode. Walk with me. Disruptor. That word's just been on my mind recently. Just say it. Say it to yourself. Doesn't matter what you're doing right now, where you are right now, if you're alone or with others right now. Just go ahead and say it. Disruptor. It has energy to it. I found myself, for some reason, wanting to look up the definition. Cambridge Dictionary defines that word disruptor as a person or thing that prevents something, especially a system, process, or event from continuing as usual or expected. A person that prevents something from continuing as usual. Disrupts the status quo. Had a second definition on there for business, which I think is relevant. In business, we use that term disruptor, and it defines it as a company that changes the traditional way, or changes an industry and how it operates, especially in a new and effective way. I just love the word. You know, it's funny, in business as entrepreneurs, we iconicize that term, disruptor. You think of legacy, iconic companies, organizations, brands that have created movements and totally changed what was the understood or normal way. What companies come to mind when you think of disruptors, companies that have changed categories? You know, maybe you're thinking of Tesla and what they're doing right now in the automotive space, changing a category. You go back and the automotive space has had disruption over and over again. You think Ford originally in the Model T, Ford was an original disruptor. Prior to that, the norm was, horse and buggy? You think of brands like Netflix. Have you been to a Blockbuster lately? You think of brands like Facebook and how it just took us to a whole new world of social media connection. Amazon. I bet there's boxes on your doorstep today. Smiley face. Talk about disruption. And I'm sure there's other companies that come to mind. Apple. And we use it as a positive association in business. Like a disruptor it's an innovator. It's someone that comes in and sees things a different way, changes the conventional or usual way an industry operates. But beyond a company, I love the first definition, a person. A person that changes or shifts that status quo. This word came to mind when I was at an event a couple weeks ago. I was in Italy, over 1,000 Italians in the room, energy absolutely off the charts. And I found myself just attracted to that word. And I had to catch myself when I said it, because when I'm in other countries, especially countries like Italy, that the majority of the population does not speak English, everything I say is translated real time, and obviously Italian in this case. And I noticed when I said it, the response I got was not the response I would feel from an English crowd. And I had to stop and I said, no, don't translate this word. Just say it in English, disruptor. And let me explain what I mean, because literally translated, a disruptor has a negative association. You think about it, even literally in the English and American context, why are you disrupting the class? Why are you being a disruption here, right? Disrupt can have a negative association. And I want to talk about maybe why that's the case. And even more so, not, how we build disruptor brands or disruptor communities, although I know many of you are on the path or have a vision to do so, but more so at a personal level, how we have to learn to be a disruptor in our own life. How if we don't step into that energy of a disruptor in how we approach and live every day, and the things that matter most, we can end up having time go by, life go by, our potential, are meant to go by. So I want to talk about what that means to be a disruptor in your life, why we get stuck, and why everything around us helps keep us stuck, and maybe nudge a little inspiration on some specific items that might need disruption in your personal life right now. So first and foremost, why do we need disruption? The reason we need disruption is because all of us, and I don't think any of us is excluded from this, we all have a tendency, a natural, built-in, hardwired, biological, innate tendency to get stuck doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. How many of you have found yourself consciously, maybe you've reached a level of personal awareness that you realize that, hey, sometimes you get stuck in a routine. Feels like Groundhog's Day, day after day after day after day. Maybe you get stuck in a routine when it comes to your work and what you do every day. Maybe you get stuck in a routine when it comes to your own health, how you eat, how you exercise, what you do or don't do every day. Maybe you get stuck in your relationships, whether it be significant other or friendships, or even how you show up to those closest to you, family and friends. And it's just the same over and over and over again. When was the last time you had disruption, change in any of those or other aspects of your life? And I think if we're all honest with ourselves, we do get stuck running the same routine, the quote unquote rat wheel or hamster wheel of life, the monotony, right, of over and over and over again. And I want you to understand that if you've ever been in that situation, you're in that situation right now in certain aspects of your life, here's what I have to tell you. It's normal. Matter of fact, it's not even your fault. You are built that way. We are all built that way. Without going into a deep conversation here, here's the simplistic view. Built-in core to every one of us as like a human species, we have built-in mechanisms to survive. At the end of the day, every system we have, the number one most priority is survival, because without that, nothing else matters. And if you unpack the systems of survival, in order to survive, we seek the feelings of certainty. We seek the feelings of safety, because those give us the highest likelihood or odds of survival. And you peel back the onion on feelings like safety or certainty, it explains why we're overly attracted to things that are familiar. things that we are used to, things that we have done before. Matter of fact, the things we have done over and over and over again, the most familiar things are the things we feel most certain or more safe doing. So they're the things that, as our mind calculates the odds, give us a high likelihood of quote unquote survival. So at the core, we gravitate to the familiar, to the things we've done over and over and over again. Why? The opposite of familiar is new. The opposite of familiar also is unknown. Carry that down. Unknown is also uncertain. Uncertain does not breed safety. And as we calculate the automatic odds, pushes us away from that survival instinct. Now, the odds with this are surviving is not the same as thriving. Surviving, breathing, waking up in the morning is not the same as thriving, as enjoying, as excitement, enthusiasm, passion, inspiration, feeling alive. Isn't it interesting that those words, although seemingly the same, are actually polar opposites? Surviving and feeling alive are completely different things. And so we get stuck biologically in gravitating to the routine over and over and over and over and over and over and over again in everything that we do, even if it pushes us further and further away from our own joy, fulfillment, happiness, potential. And it's hardwired. So give yourself some grace. This isn't about guilt. If you're stuck in certain routines and familiarity right now, know that that's how you're biologically built. Your body is doing what it's designed to do. But we got to consciously create awareness to make these shifts so we can move not just from surviving, but thriving, not just from being alive, but feeling alive. Now, it doesn't help that the whole world around us reinforces routine. And I don't want to go down the rabbit hole on today's conversation. We've had some dialogue in the past, maybe we'll have some in the future, but guys, the whole world operates on systems. Right? Systems that are designed maybe initially with the right intention, systems to create an educated community, our educational systems to create a productive workforce, right? Our education, collegiate, university, and, employment and business structures, right? Systems that are designed to create safety, our laws, right? And police and enforcement, right? Systems on top of systems, all designed probably with a root positive outcome in mind. But the process by which we get to all of those in just about every single case of the systems around us is control. It's keeping people in a lane, right? It's keeping people in a box. Because while people are staying in a lane or staying in a box or moving a direction, that creates safety and security and the feeling of those and other things for the community around. So we got this biological mechanism designed to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. We got social or societal systems around us that reinforce that and negatively reinforce when we don't stay in the line, when we don't color in the lines, when we don't stay in the box. So no wonder we often get stuck. Disruption. So a disruptor is someone that changes the way things that have been done, a person or a thing that alters a traditional way, that finds another course, particularly in something that's more effective. And I'm talking in this case for you individually. So my question for you, yes, you, everybody listening to this right now, no matter where you are, what you're doing, pause and be with me for a moment. What in your life right now is stuck running the same script that needs disruption? Maybe you have aspects of your own health. I'll start there because without health, we don't have anything else. Where have you slipped into habits, maybe eating habits, diet habits, exercise habits, or lack thereof that has been so continuous that now it's your normal? You don't even think about it anymore. You're doing it every single day. It's become osmosis. It's become a habit. But if you step back and look at yourself for a minute and see how far you're going and where that will end up, what needs disruption? What needs to be jolted? What needs to be shooken up? What needs to be stopped, paused, eliminated, reduced, or increased, added? What disruption or shift do you need to make when it comes to your health right now to get back on the track that is best for you, not just surviving, but thriving? I urge you to ask yourself that question with your health, and it can start small. You can disrupt the way you start every day. Change it immediately tomorrow. You can disrupt the food you decide to put in your mouth or the food you decide to stop putting in your mouth. You can disrupt, right, the liquid or drinking that you put in your mouth or decide not to put in your mouth. You can change it immediately. You can disrupt when you eat and how you eat, the time in which you eat. You can disrupt what you put into your body in terms of supplements or additions every single day. You can disrupt that immediately, like right now, in the moment you make a decision, you can start now. That's what disruption is about. I'm just here to challenge you to say, when was the last time you disrupted your current habits when it comes to your health? And have you slipped into a state right now that needs a jolt? And what is that jolt for you? Make one decision right now. What's the second? What's the third? They can start small and build. When it comes to your work, your career, your business, right? What you're doing right now for a livelihood and an income, have you slipped into a routine? Are you running motions just to run motions? Are you just waking up every day and doing it out of habit and familiarity? Do you need to add some intention? Do you need to add some passion? Do you need to add some inspiration? Do you need to add some energy? Do you need to change what you're doing to get a better outcome for your life? Time is going by. We're not getting any younger. Every day is gone. You don't get that back. What needs to be disrupted when it comes to your own career path? Maybe relationships, whether it be your significant other, family, friends, people close to you. Have you slipped into a set of routines that you're asleep at the wheel? Just going by every day? Same thing as yesterday, same thing tomorrow. Lacking luster, lacking novelty, lacking excitement. What needs to be disrupted, altered, changed, shifted in order to bring your relationships back to the outcome or intention that you really want? And I can keep going on in aspects of your life, and I challenge you guys to do the same. Not just when it comes to our health or our finances or relationships, right? Maybe there's things that need to be disrupted when it comes to your own personal growth. Maybe things need to be disrupted when it comes to your own, spiritual or religious pursuits. Maybe there's other areas of your life right now that are on autopilot for too long that now's the time to stop, wake up, disrupt the routine that you're doing every single day. Because here's what I'll tell you. Nobody else is going to do that for you. There's nobody else that's going to come in and say, hey, you've been doing this for way too long, and at some point along the way, you forgot the point. You've been doing this for way too long, and you haven't stopped and popped your head up and said, man, is this even the direction I want to be going? You've been doing this for way too long, and it's burning you out. Nobody's going to come in and jolt you, maybe outside of this conversation, to create the disruption you need in your life. We can give you the nudge and the inspiration, but you have to make the change. And if nobody else is going to do it, and it's going to end up to be you and only you, you have a decision. When's that change going to come? If you're perfectly happy in all areas of your life and the trajectory, not just where you're at, but the trajectory you are on, where you are going in all those facets, by all means, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not, if you're plateaued, if you're flat, if you're declining, if you're uninspired, if it's over and over and over and over again, if you feel like time is just flying by and going by faster and faster and faster, that's a great indication that it needs disruption. Because when time starts to speed up, it's because we've shifted into autopilot. You want to slow time back down, create disruption in your life, create new, put the intention back. Be a disruptor. Jolt the things that need to be shifted in order to move to you're meant to, what you're meant to do, who you're meant to be, the impact you're meant to make. And if not now, when? Coming up on the end of the year, did this year fly by? Was this year a lot different than last year? What aspects of your life excelled? What aspects of your life are the same as they were last year or the year before? 2023, right around the corner. What's going to make next year different than this year? What's going to make your health different next year? Your finances different than next year? Your impact different than next year? Your relationships different than next year? The life you're living different next year? Disruption. Making the decision to become a disruptor in your own life. And that's my challenge for all of you. Told you it's a good word. Here's a view from the top. The sun's coming out. Beautiful day. And my hope for all of you is that this year, as it starts to come toward a close, you did disrupt certain aspects of your life. You are in a better place, and I know many of you are in many facets, but my hope is also, no matter the progress, no matter the growth, that we continue on that trajectory in 2023, and you add intention, right? A conscious effort to disrupt the aspects of your life that need to be so you can pursue your potential and move to where you're meant to in 2023. Until the next time we walk together, here's to being a disruptor. Take care, everybody.
Hey guys, one last thing. I'm super excited that this new podcast, Alive by Design, just went live. You see, I designed the show to bring you inspired thoughts and fascinating conversations with the world's most impactful people, to provide transformative principles and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. And I'd love for you to help me spread the word now. Simply subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on this platform right now. So if I've ever given you value, please do me this personal favor and go subscribe now. And if you found today's episode helpful in any way, make sure you share this with at least one friend today. You have the power right now to change someone's day. So send them a text message with a link to alivebydesign.com, or simply copy and paste the link right from this podcast platform. Who's one person you know right now that you want to see succeed, that you want to see grow, that you want to see feel more alive? Shoot them a text with your largest takeaway from today and be a light in their day. And if you were referred here by a friend, make sure you shoot them a text back and say thank you. I'd love to hear from you directly on what you got from today's podcast. So if you're up for it, drop by my Instagram @BlakeMallon and shoot me a DM. And as always, thank you for showing up. I'm grateful for you, and I hope our time together today in some small way helped you feel a little more alive. Until next time.